Hello, wonderful people. It's my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of the show Sport Exchange. It's good to be back, and I hope we are alive. Anyway, our heart goes to those we have lost in this process. And for those of us who are still alive, let us always remember that we need to follow all the guidelines as far as keeping ourselves safe. Okay? Anyway, the show is loaded as usual, and we will be taking you through some exciting news as far as sport business is concerned. Our dugout segment, we will be looking at a great partnership that has a Nigerian company and another in Europe. This is a wonderful partnership that we will be talking about on the dugout segment. We're going on a short break now, and when I come back, it will be time for me to take you through the exciting news that are making sport business tick at this moment.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back. We'll start from home, where Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Sunday Dare, has inaugurated a task force on the verification of the businesses in the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos. The task force will screen all occupants and also identify all illegal structures within the stadium, which is also undergoing a concessioning process. The 12-man team is expected to submit its report in 3 weeks' time. A Lagos-based leading African sport management company, Integral, is joining forces with another global football brand, Family and Football. The strategic alliance will see the two companies collaborate in the areas of football talent identification, development, and management. Family and Football is the agency that brokered the Arsenal FC lucrative deal of Mesut Ozil. The chairman of the league management company, Shehu Diko, has said there are no plans yet for the Nigeria Professional Football League clubs to foot the bills of having their players and officials tested for coronavirus. Diko revealed this following reports suggesting that the 20 NPFL clubs could not afford a combined 50 million naira for the test per game if the league resumes as planned. German sportswear brand Adidas has pledged to invest $20 million in the black community in the United States and make sure that at least 30% of all new U.S. jobs are filled with black and Latino people at its Adidas and Reebok brands. The Adidas Managing Board said in a statement it recognized the contribution of the black community to its success, but admitted the company must do more to fight racism and improve company culture to ensure equity, diversity, and opportunity. And go straight to football, where Australia and New Zealand beat scores highest in evaluation report for 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup hosting rights. The report, published by the World Football Governing Body FIFA, scored the joint bid 4.1 out of 5, with Japan scoring 3.9 and Colombia 2.8. The joint bid from Australia and New Zealand for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup has scored the highest in an evaluation report of the 3 contenders published by football's governing body. All 3 bids will now go forward to the FIFA Council, which will select the winner at an online meeting on June the 25th. And straight to the Winter Olympics, the International Olympic Committee's Coordination Commission for the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics has praised China's preparation efforts. The remarks were made at the 5th meeting of the Coordination Commission, which was held online and featured updates on the preparations. issues arising from the coronavirus pandemic effect on global sporting events have made the Winter Games doubtful. And that's it for the news segments. We're going on a short break now. When we come back, we hit the dugout segment and our guest is standing by. Don't go away. Exciting times await you on that segment.
Fantastically finished.
All right, welcome back. It's still Sport Exchange, and thanks for joining us. All right, don't forget that you can link up with us on our social media handle, and you can also follow us and excitement all the way. Rather, it's going to be. It promises to be always exciting. And now we are on to the dugout segment where our guest is. A sport management consultant is with the Integral Sport Marketing Agency. His name is Murtala Lamval. Murtala Lamval is joining me on this segment now. Murtala, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm great, Jide. Thank you so much for having me.
Murtala, let's talk about the biggest thing to come out of this pandemic as far as sports is concerned in Nigeria, and that is the partnership between family and football and your agency, that is the Integral Sport Marketing Agency. Can you take us through why is this collaboration happening now?
Thanks, Jide. So it's kind of been in the pipeline for some time now. We started, so firstly, Integral is Nigeria's leading sports marketing agency. It's been around for about 10 years, and we have a myriad of businesses that we do. And, we're a team of experts in our different fields of endeavor. And so one of the things that came to mind some years back when we launched into the talent management scene, prior to we had already been managing other athletes in track and field. But we felt that, looking at the whole landscape, if you consider Nigeria, the size of it and the behemoth that, the nation is, firstly, we don't really have a bricks and mortar talent management organization in the whole country, right? That's number one of it. Number two of it is, how can we have so much talent, yet we don't have a structure or a system in place? Hence, with that vision in mind, we went into the space to contribute first positively, to make a big impact, and to bring about change. And so this partnership happened along the journey of, first of all, us trying to improve the business we provide and improve how we function and how to contribute positively to the lives of the players. So, Ekud, which is Friends and Family, we've known about for some time. We invited them earlier in the year for a charity event and learning experience. And, the outcome of that initial invitation is what you now see as a partnership.
All right. Okay. So for football stakeholders, talking about football stakeholders in Nigeria, how will they be involved? Because I know this is one big thing for football talents in Nigeria, especially if you look at the landscape of football in the country. How are you going to get them involved or to buy into what you guys have just unveiled?
Yeah, like I said, they came in earlier in the year and they came to see the landscape, and Ekut, the founder of Family and Football, very passionate about learning. Education is at the forefront of everything that he does. He has this football agent education where he goes around and he's teaching people about, becoming a football agent. And if you look at the global landscape, there's nobody really doing that in the way that he's doing it. So we've invited him over. The reception, the turnout was great. The feedback was amazing. He loved it. And he said, I want to come back. I want to give more. I see that people are hungry for knowledge here. And I want to help people. And, education, like I said, charity is one of the pillars and the strength of the things that we do as well. So, so to your question, how's he going to buy into it? Yeah, slowly and steadily, we're creating our own plan. And he's seen some of the plan, and we've launched it with this announcement, and with the coming months and weeks, you will get more information on the actual activation of the different plans that we have.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. Looking at the information from your end, like three cardinal points that I was able to spot in that particular information from your agency. One is talent identification. Another is management and development. Take me through your plans for talent identification. How, is it that you guys will going to have a program, or you guys will just be, there are people that will be working with you guys to identify some of those talents? And just let me know how you plan to go about this.
Now, the beauty of the setup is that prior to the relationship, we had been firmly on the ground, and on our own, we've been able to, achieve some milestones. So over time, we've created our own talent management scouting program. We have expansive network of scouts all over the country. So it's more like a plug and play with Family and Football.
Okay. All right. From there to management and development. And okay, maybe I should also ask you: is it a Nigerian thing? Because I know you've got your partners, or you've got your legs in some other, maybe for the West African region of Nigeria. Or beyond that, maybe on the continent gradually. Is it going to be a continent-wide partnership between you and Farm Foods?
Yes, definitely a continent-wide vision, with Nigeria being the base and the platform, and then we will, spread out to sub-Saharan West Africa before we look at, by the time, with time, when we grow our resource and our capabilities, then we will obviously expand as further as, the vision and our own self-belief and confidence takes us. Yeah.
All right. I know your agency, talking about Integral, has their hands in so many pies. And I know you guys also broker broadcast deals, and are we going to be seeing the effect on this particular marriage too?
I mean, I don't think so. Family and Football is a football management agency, so they don't do some of the other part of the businesses that we're interested in. But if an opportunity should provide for such fortune, why not?
Yeah, I think good. That brings me to this question. One of the things that we lack here, talking about Nigeria, is the fact that you're getting some of the sports talents, getting them endorsements, their image rights. It's not really what it should be. And you guys are working with an agency that was able to broker the lucrative deal between Arsenal and Mesut Ozil, are we likely to begin to see Nigerians, the Nigerian talents also making great fortune from this in terms of the lucrativeness of some of the deals that will be commented on the table?
So if you look at Family and Football and what they've done with Mesut Ozil, you realize that it's really been extraordinary. Just recently, Adidas and Mesut Ozil parted ways after years of partnership. But while such a news might hurt a lot of players, it will not hurt Ozil because he's built a brand. He's, I would say behind Messi, Ronaldo, and maybe one or two other players, Ozil is right there, top 5 biggest football brands. And that's because not only his endorsements, but the ability to create other businesses. He has an esports team. He's got tons of other businesses that he's doing. So, yes, the significance for us of this partnership is why we're not even trying to spread the net and grab quantity. We're looking for quality. And if quality means that we represent only one player over 3-4 years, 5, 6 or more, we will do our best to represent that player as much on the field of play, very much more off of it. Make sure that talent is not only getting endorsements, he's actually involved in several businesses that will create a brand for that player and also bring, very important economic returns to the player. So, yeah, that's really what the mission is. All
right, Murita, I'm gonna tap into your expertise a bit, and what we'll be looking at is during the lockdown, especially I'm going to zero into Nigerian athletes now, or athletes, whether football or other sports. I noticed that they didn't take advantage of this lockdown, except for a few of them. They didn't take advantage of this lockdown to kind of shore up their brand effect on the people. What do you think is responsible for this?
Are you speaking about athletes in Nigeria, or
yes,
you're speaking generally about
in
Nigerian
Nigeria?
Athletes?
I know other were doing it well, pushing their brand, pushing their image and all that, using the digital assets, but Nigerian athletes weren't doing that.
So you see, this is, a lot of athletes don't understand this. A lot of representatives don't understand it. It's the importance of having a management company, because in your management company, there's a unit that's actually also set up to look over those affairs, helping you build that brand. What you should put out, how should you promote social media? You're a voice. What are you passionate about? Speak up about the things you're passionate about. Now, ordinarily, if you're really not in the business, and if you're not expressive, as most athletes are not, you don't know what content to put out. So, management companies are there to guide you and to tell you essentially, okay, this is the type of content that'll bring out talent for you. They'll bring out following for you. This is how many times you need to post it out. This is how you should actually do it. And so, suffice to say, if they have no prior knowledge to engaging followers, they wouldn't really know much about what they're putting out, right?
All right. Before I let you go, let's talk about Nigeria sports post-COVID-19. What do you think will happen? Because I know that the Nigeria as a whole, there is an economic sustainability committee that's working out how to rev up the economy. But we need to look at our own sector, which is the sport industry. So post-COVID-19, what do you see? Maritala.
Thank you for that question, Jide. I think it's really, really important that post-COVID, when we're having conversations about where we're going to go after the pandemic, when we return to normal life, is first of all, we have to find organizations that are firstly deeply rooted in the sports business in Nigeria and being at the forefront of whatever the plan is for the future. Now, post-COVID, what we're going to see is, in the football landscape anyway, the information we're getting now is that clubs are going to be very prudent with their spending, and they're not going to be spending so much as they normally do, the exorbitant prices that they put on players. They're not going to be spending so much, and it's going to affect players in Africa in particular, because there's a lot of cost to bringing players across, and then there's a lot of cost to training players and modeling them to be the right fit for the different clubs. So costs will go down drastically. Management will be prudent now. So what we need to do is, look inwards, I think, is how do we develop our own system? How do we develop our economy? And we start with documenting a lot of things. We don't have policies. We don't have rules that govern the business, because otherwise, why are we not following these rules? What are the rules about structure? What are the rules about football governance or athletes in other sports? Is football the only sports that we have in Nigeria? What about athletics? What about basketball? What are the rules governing that? What values are we providing sponsors to attract them in the media sector, in the commercial sector, in the brand and endorsement of products and services? So, a lot of times, everyone in sports business is always, in Nigeria in particular, always screaming and crying about, nobody wants to sponsor sports in Nigeria. No, but that's not what it is. Sports is a service, so you exchange value for value. What are you giving the sponsors in return for the money that you are requesting? So you need to fix things in your system, and the sponsors will come walking in.
So I think there's so much, you will agree with me that there's so much work to be done after this lockdown. And I want to believe that Integral will be playing a crucial role when we eventually let off the hook.
You can count on us.
All right. Thank you very much, Marita Lalamval, for talking to me on Sport Exchange today. I hope that the conversation will continue some other day when we invite you on the show.
I appreciate it, Jide. Thank you so much.
All right. Yes, that's it. Of course, that was Marita Lalamval, a sports management consultant with Integral Sport Marketing Agency in Nigeria. We've been talking about their partnership with Family and Football Agency, a Europe-based sport management agency as well. So it's great news for Nigeria, and it's going to be massive. So post-COVID-19, expect a big thing to happen in Nigeria as well. So as long as we can get our acts together and create a formidable industry. Anyway, okay, we go on a short break, and when we come back, it will be time for me to say my bye-bye.
Fantastically finished.
All right, welcome back. take my leave on the show today. Let me remind you that sports thrives on numbers. Patronage, passion, loyalty, wellness, fitness, friendliness, and the list is endless. So in all that you do, make sure that sport is part of your itinerary on a daily basis. Yes, so that we can come out alive and bubbling after all this pandemic. My name is Judy Olani, yours truly today, tomorrow, of the future, yours truly today, tomorrow, and of the future in sports, business, and I'm signing out.